Ladies and gentlemen, I am coming to you live. Well, not live, but I'm coming to you with the most famous or infamous question, I don't know, of using your DirecTV client, Genie client with just Ethernet. Stay tuned. So, I guess not many people really care about this, and you can just run, CoAX around the house. But if you're anyone like me who is just OCD, who loves this technology, CoAX is kind of ugly now, and it's just actually being faded away. So actually, I have Cablevision in my area, and they actually are they're going fiber to the home. They're getting rid of CoAX and requiring Ethernet or Wi-Fi to every cable box. And so is Verizon. I actually don't have FiOS in my neighborhood, even though it's in my freaking area, which really grinds my gears. But pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's funny too because AT&T's entire the U-verse network was all IP based, and then they buy DirecTV, which you can see there's no Ethernet adapter on here. Now, I mean, this is really, I guess, you don't have to worry about this, but I just want things simplified, and I want future-proof. I have a lot of nuisance with CoAX, so pretty much, officially it isn't supported, but officially, unofficially, they did have to do something because there's DirecTV ready TVs, which pretty much are like RVU capable. So it's kind of like the Genie Mini is built into the TV itself. This is a plasma TV, by the way. It does not have RVU. Basically, what they would do is they have these Mocha adapters, and what they would do with this is they would pretty much use the coax line from the wall, and then on the other side they use Ethernet to go straight to the TV. So I'm going to try that out with I'm going to try two scenarios. We're going to first attempt to just plug this directly into the the DirecTV Mini client into the coax here, and then we're going to just plug this Ethernet into a switch in another room of the house. So I'm going to plug an Ethernet cord directly into the back of this. I don't anticipate it working at all, but we're going to do it anyway. Alright, so I got DirecTV server. It is back online watching, of course, Family Guy. And you guys wouldn't believe it on the first shot. It works. It friggin' works. And the best part about it actually is not just the fact that it's working on a Ethernet network. Let me show you proof of concept. This is the DirecTV Mini, and this is the DECA adapter. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to buy one of these for every TV device, whether that would be an RVU TV or these fancy dandy little DirecTV Minis. So yeah, it's going straight to Ethernet. I got an Ethernet switch down there, and it's going throughout the entire house. But the best part about this isn't that. It's actually the fact that you're powering this through the USB port on the DirecTV Genie Mini on the client. So you literally, these DirecTV DECAs, they come with their own external power bricks, which is, well, over here, if you guys can see that. But of course, who wants extra cabling when hell, you got everything right here. You just plug this straight into this thing. This has only this one power brick right here, and you're good to go. It is fantastic. The only thing about this, to make this one complete, the last thing you'll need is the fact that these things don't include Netflix. I know that Comcast is doing it. I think Dish Network is doing it. I'm not sure. But, if this had Netflix built in on it, because I know that the on-demand isn't too, I think it's not as great as DirecTV now, but, I think they're going to work on it. But still, I'll tell you what, this is, is groundbreaking. Of course, I'm going to have to buy another one of these, and, I was using a long HDMI cable and a splitter from the second room, but that's just not, it's not perfect. I actually need to get a universal remote for this room because this receiver, it's a pain in the ass without universal remote. So I decided to do that, and I'm going to have to get another one of these things, but alright, so before I close out this video, I want to talk about one of the reasons you want to avoid or be cautious about doing this setup. I know it looks great, but the only issue is its metrics. It's we have to worry about the rest of the traffic on the network. By default, this stuff isn't prioritized, so you have to worry about how much this one stream alone is going to account for. So I've got the DirecTV Genie using connected to my PC. It's an Intel X58, one of the older i7s. With two Ethernet ports. So one's going in and one's going out into the switch, so I can analyze the traffic coming out of one stream. Now I can't vouch for like 20 different TVs, but yeah. If you have the older one, it's 4 TVs, I think 3 TV stream limit. If it's a newer one, you're gonna have 7 TV stream limit. So that Ethernet switch in that other room is going to a 5-port Ethernet switch. Both are gigabit. Right here. So I bridged the connections, and we could see the analytic, the traffic. And for some reason, I can't click on it directly. As you can see, it's kind of pulling a bit of data, a lot of data, and for the most part, it lingers around 4, but it will jump occasionally to 16 or 20 megabit. So you will have to account for that. One big thing I noticed, when you're doing nothing, it's not bad, but when you change a channel, it just skyrockets to like 30 megs per second. So again, that's not too bad, but if you have like 5 TVs in the house that are streaming at once, 5 times 3, that's 600 megabits per second, and I guess I can only get 200 megabit per second here in the Northeast because I have Cablevision. But if you have AT&T Fiber, if you have Verizon Fios, if you have any other gigabit provider, you have to account for that in your network traffic. If that's the case, you're going to want either to put all of these devices on one Ethernet switch, or you're going to have between, if you're going to have multiple Ethernet switches like this, they need to have a 10 gigabit backbone between these two. So you could saturate, it's not going to saturate, if you're doing a download or speed test, it's not going to saturate the entire connection because that's just what the one link of Ethernet is going to be. So the 10 gigabit should be more than enough, I think, for, let's say, worst case scenario, 40 megs times 7, that's 300 megs per second that you're going to want to account for on your network. Another thing you can do, which I actually recommend if you have other network devices like video surveillance, you can get a smart switch, and I guess you could maybe prioritize it, or at least just kind of bridge the connections so they're in their isolated VLAN. And yeah, I mean, so that's I don't think this has ever been done before, but really useful.